What is up, guys? This is Mario, and you are listening to the Grown-Up Pixels Podcast Mixtape Volume 1. Tonight's episode is all about the background video game tunes that we played during episode 1 of the podcast. So sit back, enjoy, and let's get started. The first track we'll be playing tonight is from Super Mario Bros. 3, World Map 1, Grasslands, composed by Koji Kondo. Such a super classic tune. So some of my memories of this game are actually being in Texas. There was a couple of years in my childhood when I lived in Texas. I had tons of cousins, and I had one cousin in particular that loved video games just as much as I did. And they just so happened to own this game. And at the time, I had never played Super Mario Bros. 2. I had never even beaten Super Mario Bros. 1. So playing this game was like the next level, like jumping from the SNES to the Nintendo 64. That's what Super Mario Bros. 3 was for me. This just so happens to be the very first Super Mario game that I have ever beaten in my life. I beat it a couple years later. I must have been maybe in the second grade or so. And yeah, that first stage just sounds awesome. It's very welcoming, and it's a good way to start the game, like as you're learning the map and move up, down, and how to just navigate, the little tracks on the world map. Great tune. As a kid, yeah, I did leave my NES playing for a while just to kind of groove out to the music. Classic tune, love it. So the second track that was played on episode 1 of the podcast was the Dark Cloud main theme, composed by Tomohito Nishira. Take a listen. There's not much I can say about this tune. I remember getting the feeling that this was PlayStation's Zelda equivalent. Obviously, we know that wasn't the case, but Dark Cloud brought a lot to the table. When you listen to this music, it was a nice introduction to what the game was. You saw the character flying on his little dragon, you see him in the different lands, see him fighting a couple of monsters. Now, me personally, I never actually finished this game. So this game, if you have never played it, you went through these dungeons and you did your dungeon crawling, fought bad guys, upgraded weapons and all that good stuff. But additionally, all of the different worlds, you ended up creating the world, kind of like Dragon Quest, where you take requests, or Dragon Quest Builders, where you take some requests from the people and so forth, and you kind of move them around. They want to be near this or that, and that's what that game was. And I was not strong at building the town, so unfortunately I never finished this game, but the music was on point. I really liked it, and I guess I just liked the idea of Dark Cloud and what it was doing and what it was bringing to the PlayStation 2, because if you all remember at that time, the PlayStation 2 was the next gen console. And the final track that was played on episode 1 was from Donkey Kong Country, Simeon Sieg, composed by David Wise, Eveline Fisher, and Robin Beanland. Take a listen. This is such a cool track. Now, they were so well composed and put together. Like, you don't even have to know that this is Donkey Kong to know that it's in a jungle and it's like a wacky character, kind of, you know? You can hear the little rattles and stuff. You know it has to do with the jungle and animals and obviously Donkey Kong. My memories with this game, I remember first playing it at Target, and they used to, at the Target I used to go to, they used to have a little area where you can play all the games. So I'd go play the games, and this game was like the future. I never owned the game. I never owned the cartridge. It wasn't until much later that I actually got it on Virtual Console. It was the first time I ever owned it, but I rented it a bunch of times. Loved it every single time, and yeah, this is one of the games that I did beat. Alright everyone, so that's the end of the Grown-Up Pixels podcast, Mixtape Volume 1. These are all the tracks that we played on the very first episode. I hope you enjoyed the mixtape, because I really enjoyed making it. I enjoyed talking about all these games, and it's been a lot of fun. If you like the show, please subscribe on wherever you're listening to it, whether it be on iTunes, on Google Music, on Anchor, on SoundCloud. Subscribe and leave a review. I want to know what you guys think. I'm making this podcast for other like-minded individuals that like games, like video game music, and grew up just like me. So leave a review. Let me know what you think so far of the show. Don't forget to check out the website, grownuppixels.com. You can also reach out and hit me up on Twitter at grownuppixels, Instagram at grownuppixels, and Facebook at grownuppixels as well. Thanks a lot, everyone, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.